This is the Kia that beat a Lamborghini Aventador in a race, and we get to go drive it today. Kia EV6 GT all-wheel drive 2023. This is a $62,000 car, and I want to help you figure out, is this the right car for you? Is it not for you? By the end of this video, I want you to know everything you need to know about it, what it's like to drive, what it's like to live with it, know exactly who it's for. I'm going to touch on at the end, as well as the biggest complaint about this vehicle. This is fun for me. I've been working on cars for over 10 years. I've driven everything from a Prius to a Porsche GT3 RS, spent some time in all kinds of cars. So I'm excited to bring you my thoughts on this and what to expect, and just help you figure out, is this the right car for you? And what is this thing like to live with? I've had this for about 6 days now, and I've driven it every single day. I've had to charge it 3 different times. Not because I ran it all the way low, because I wanted to fill it up so I could drive pretty far. Let's talk about the drivetrain. You got big brakes, big wheels, but what's powering it? Motors front and rear, all-wheel drive system, does 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, which is quick for a car like this. 577 horsepower in GT mode and 546 pound-feet of torque. When you have this much grip with all-wheel drive in a car this heavy, it moves enough to where I have to let the passengers know before we floor it in GT mode. Please put your head against the headrest so we don't snap your neck. Thank you. We're gonna go for a drive, but I was trying to put to words, why does this car look special? Like, what is the little detail? Because it's such a normal car, but it's not. In my opinion, it's 2 things. Yes, the rear end is its own like spectacle with a cool tail light. I'll click the key so you can kind of see that illuminated, and then the red goes all the way across. But to me, it's this little slight roof spoiler, and there's a light under here. I'll throw in a clip. It's interesting. Has a cool look at night. That's different. But the door handles being a part of the body and being flush, it gives the car such a unique feel. Functionality, questionable, but in my opinion, it's worth the looks and makes this car look super sleek. Let's go for a drive, and I want to show you the inside. There's some buttons on here. You've got park assist and such. We'll get to it, but regular key, pretty cool. Hit unlock, walk up to it. There you go. Now, does it work hands-free though? You might question yourself. I'm gonna lock it, pull up, mirror's always going, which is nice. Put my hand up to here, it'll unlock just the driver door. Before you pop in, you're like, whoa, look at these sweet GT seats. And then you have all of this nice Alcantara leather mixture with the GT green everywhere. At night, there's some green luminance across the whole thing. You have your Meridian surround system, which is cool. But one of my favorite parts about this car that everyone talks about is this sweet center console. You almost have like a spaceship Mars rover cockpit. I'm gonna put my foot on the brake, hold this down, turn the car on. This is a 30-ounce Yeti cup, fits perfectly in here. You have a non-clicking center console. It just has a firm motion and a super deep pocket right here. And you have your seat heater, steering wheel warmer, but this huge space right here is cool. USB right there, USB-C over there. In the back seat, there's a full-on plug, like wall outlet that you have to unlock with the key. Child safety, put your seatbelt in. These buckets, they look like a race car seat that everyone likes that look. It just has a cool appeal. The back as well, but these don't feel like a race car. They feel like a really comfortable, just daily driver sports car. And you know, you sit in this and you don't think like, oh, these are crazy. You just think, oh, these are nice. Pull out my phone, plug in Apple CarPlay, and keep noted, like, this is just so cool. Like, piano black, it's just comfortable. You have your wireless charger right here, and then right here, this big old space for a bunch of stuff. No touch LEDs, you can't really see them turn on and off because it's so bright during the day. The thing, you have this button to turn all lights on. Lights when you open the door, on and off. Moon roof. If you go all the way, this will open. Click it once all the way and it'll close all of it. Sleek, no frame rear view mirror. Garage buttons right here. Big old mirror. You see me looking like a doofus. Light right here. Large Apple CarPlay screen, touch screen. Big screen right here. I want to adjust the steering wheel so you can see in there a little bit better. Then the controls for the radio and AC are right here. So you swipe down, you can get to the AC controls. You got auto. Then you have what I like. You have climate 1, 2, 3 for auto. So I'm gonna put auto 1, and it slows down the rate of the fan. So it's gonna get the car to 78 degrees, but it's gonna do it a little bit more calm and not just blow a bunch of air and make a bunch of noise in here. So if you're having a conversation, if you're recording audio like I am right now, filming this video, I want it to get the temp nice, but I don't want to make a bunch of extra noise. So that's what that's cool for. I use it a lot when I'm having conversations with people because this car is very quiet. You can keep it very quiet. So having that auto climate control of 1, 2, or 3 levels is rad. And then it always defaults to the radio controls right here, which is the volume. You have volume right here, skip next right here, cruise control, and you have this one right here that toggles through the settings of the car. I have my compass on. You see in the corner, I have my battery 75%, level 3 regenerative braking, 93 degrees outside, how much power consumption's happening, and how many miles are on the car. 4,122 with 152 miles of range. Speed limit is always posted right here. And to change the drive mode, you can click this button right here, normal, sport, eco. You click GT, everything kind of changes to green, and it's wicked fast, which we'll get to, don't worry. So I'm gonna put it in eco. You have your gear shifter here. You have your parking cameras you can view at any moment. You can switch to this weird like exterior third person view, which is like crazy, and you can like move it around. Let's go back to this one. I like this one from above to make sure you're straight on the lines. You have your auto hold right here, which is nice. Auto hold is on, and then you just twist it to the right with your foot on the brake, and then we can take off. And let's talk about in a bit what these paddles are for. What is this, a sports car? Yes, it is. So it has paddle shifters, but in an electric car, that doesn't make sense. We'll get to it. Yes, we are pulling out of the parking lot, but we're gonna pull back in because there are some things that I wanna show you before we go for the fun drive, and I wanna leave you there. So let me pull back into a spot. We're gonna pop out and go to the back of the car to show you how much space is in the rear, how much space there is not in the front. But when you're driving this around, pay attention to the noise in here. It's like a blend of a Lincoln and a Cadillac to me. As far as how all the interior sound is, it's really quiet in here. Nice tires for how big the wheels are. They put some good sized tires so it stays pretty quiet and it doesn't feel clunky at all. When I think about someone paying $62,000, it better have a really nice interior feel, and I couldn't be more confident in that you will be happy in how this car feels and drives for the price. So I'm gonna hold this button right here. It's gonna open the back, and then I'm gonna pop the hood latch right there like a regular car. So let's go to the back really quick. Cover, pretty sweet. Then you've got this mat, and then in here you have the connector. This is the V2L. So what this is for, if you've never gotten into electric cars like me, this plugs into the car, so I can press right here. It'll open. This will clip in and snap in. The car has to be unlocked to remove it. But once that's snapped in, you have access to this right here, which is a wall plug, so you can charge things from your car, power things from your car, hook up an extension cord to it, and power your house, I guess. So that goes in here. If you're thinking about charging this at home, I highly recommend it, and I'll talk to that more while we're driving. And this is a tire mobility kit. This is important because if you ever have a flat tire, you don't have a spare. You use that to fill the tire with goo and hope that it holds to get to a tire shop. This is humongous. There's a lot of space up in here. Let's check out the back really quick. This is so spacious. This is the smallest car, but the biggest back seat. It is amazing. You can see this cool texture here too, USB-Cs, tons of legroom. Holy cow, for the size of this car being slightly larger than a Kia Soul, it is way more legroom. These are in an awesome position. The air is just right to the rear passenger's face. Got this right here. You hang out, you can do cup holders, you can do it flat, armrest. Love this. Nice Alcantara race car feel. Seat belts, all the green stitching, all the nice perfect spots for all the seat belts to sit, and that wall plug right here. Super cool. You could do business back here with your laptop plugged in. Let's go to the front. Push the tab to the left, and what do you know, you have a regular car battery here, coolant and such. You have this lever, this pulls up. You have a little bit of space for some stuff, but all the cooling and 12-volt battery and stuff to power the electronics is all right there. Nothing really to it, and everything's kind of hidden, so you're not really gonna open the hood on this car like you would most other electric cars that have a frunk. Not really the case with this. You have a big like kick pad for like your left foot to chill. I like that. Sometimes they're small. This one's large. Your traction control button's over here also. Parking button. If you're gonna open the back to plug a charger in, you can click that button also. And then this is the luminance for how bright or dim you want the dash and whatnot. For the fun part, let's go drive. Click it in gear. Off in silence we go. Big Apple CarPlay screen, which is nice. If you're like me, and this is the first like true electric car I've spent like time by myself in for a week, as if it was my car, and it's been interesting. The first thing I think about is how you don't really have to use the brakes in an electric car because of the regenerative braking. When you let off the gas, the car, I'm just letting off the gas, and then it comes to a stop and it starts to slow down. So you're really just driving around the streets using your right foot, modulating the gas pedal on and off, or should I say accelerator, because gas is not a thing. But overall, it's a really comfortable, stout feeling car. Like, it's got really good brakes, enough to make the blood in my head move when we hit the brakes that hard, and it doesn't make any type of screeching because it's just getting good grip because it's a lot of weight from the battery. All-wheel drive car, nice summer tires. This thing is cool, and we're in eco mode. The cockpit, I just love. Everyone loves the cockpit that gets in here. It's just a cool car. It has a nice electric car sound of just the woo, has its own unique sound, similar to most, but when you turn the blinker on, you have the camera with the blind spot, so that's super cool. So when you're dicing through traffic and you want to get ahead like right now, all I have to do is just make sure my blind spot's clear, and I'm pretty much good to go because I have all the torque in the world to pull me through something. So if you're one to like drive a little bit aggressively like I do, this is a great car because you can dice through traffic. You can shoot a gap so fast that people won't even know it happened. Therefore, I believe it will lead to less road rage. Let's go right here. And just the only thing making noise is this lid on my water bottle. I'm thirsty, hold on. So if you hear a little bit of rattling, it's this, it's not the car. But you can round this corner and get a ton of grip. I'm in eco mode, remember? So let's talk about the paddles. What's up with the paddles? Then we'll get to the GG button, just hold tight. When I hit the right side, it's on level 0. So this is cool. When I get on the gas and I let off, it just coasts like a normal car. Now I'm gonna click the left side, level 1, level 2, level 3, the regenerative braking is kicking on. I'm gonna hit it one more time for maximum regeneration, and it's just technically auto. So I'll get on the gas, it's gonna slow me down a lot. I'm gonna click right, and it'll just coast. So it's just chilling at 48 miles an hour. But if I click the regenerative braking on, it's slowing me down 31, 32, 28, 25, 23. So you can just, I'm trying to just speak it out loud so you can really almost immerse yourself here, like so you can feel it since you're just watching a video. Now I'm gonna put it in normal mode, and we're gonna get on the gas and have some fun. No cars, okay, let's let her rip. So floor it, puts you back in your seat pretty far, enough to make your passengers go wee. But now the brakes are really good. Just driving safely, don't worry about anything. No cars behind me. I'm gonna go in here, turn around, and this is a great spot to go even faster. So let's put it in sport mode. So you notice things turn red a little bit. I'm gonna hit media, take me back to my Apple CarPlay. It's got a sport thing over there. It's really picking up now. School zone, not gonna go here, don't worry. Flip a U-turn, good turning radius, really picks up. This car saw me go so fast it stopped. I floor it. We're already up to speed limit like that, but it gets way faster with GT mode. So in the next light, I'll put it in GT mode and we'll see what it's all about. Before we do GT mode from a light, I want to give you some insight as to what are the reactions when you go to the back roads. When you drive this in a sports car setting, what is that like? Well, I did that, and it's in another video focused on it, but I'll throw in some clips here. Editor Justin will catch you up, and then we'll zoom back to right here.
Straight jump right here. Woo! Dude, that's crazy.
It actually grips good.
Oh. Bro, this feels so weird.
Yeah, like there's no noise right now.
Dude, I can freaking feel like the blood in my head like shifts from one side to the other.
It's just a cool car though. Like, I love the pattern up here, all the simplicity. The screen is nice, the touch screen is nice. I want to give you an idea, even through the camera, what the sound system is like. It sounds pretty good, I can't complain. If there was a little bit more bass, I think you would be ultra satisfied, but this is a really nice sound system that has really especially good mids and highs. The lows is enough. It could be a little bit more, but I just love the clarity of this sound system. Here's some rock music to start it off. Turn it up with this little button right here. Idea of what these buttons on the key do before this episode's over, so I'm gonna have editor Justin throw in some clips from another guy who did it in a parking garage. There's not one near me, but that's the best way to show how this works.
Nice and slowly, and it'll keep driving until you release the button. And very similar then when you're parking it, getting its angles right.
Okay, I'm gonna click GT mode. Okay, we're going 20 miles an hour, floor it. Skirts tires a little bit. All the way up to 80, just like that. The whole rear end of the car squats. It's crazy. You can see how fast I'm picking up to the back of that car. That gives you a really good idea of how fast this thing is. Okay, dead stop. And we're out. Oh. It made it to almost 80 miles an hour before that turn in. That is insane. So having 570 horsepower without any gear changing, with no sound, and it just puts your head back in the seat, it leads to some good reactions. And you can really whip around. It's almost so fast it feels fake. It really does. You can round a corner and just floor it with the all-wheel drive and it's just planted. Then you get on the brakes and the car just get on the gas. Whoa. So it's no joke until your battery's dead. When you take this to the back roads, the idea is to turn the regenerative braking off in GT mode. So hit the right side of the pedal. It picks up and it just coasts. And then when you come into a corner like this, hitting the left paddle, you're putting the regenerative braking on, kind of like downshifting a sports car. And then on your way out, you're clicking on the right pedal to take you out and just coast. I actually found I enjoyed leaving the regenerative braking on max. And then that way I could just focus solely on modulating my right foot to drive smooth. So braking in, rounding the corner, and pulling out, and you just had grip for days. You could floor it so much earlier out of a corner like that, and it just grips and it doesn't feel out of control. When you're worried about shifting gears or boosting up and braking traction in something like a Supra or other sports cars, this thing, it just puts the power down. This is the easiest enthusiast car I've ever driven. It grips, it has torque all day long, it has horsepower, it's fast, it has a lot of grip. All the things that you have to like manage while you're driving a sports car, throw it out the window, put your hands on the wheel and drive. What do I find myself driving around in the most? Actually, ego. I just want to cruise around, have a good time. It's very rarely that I really need to go that fast. So when you do want to drive fast though, it's much quicker than most cars, because all you have to do is click this button right here and then you're ready to go. There's no like shifting down, there's no like multiple buttons. It's just this one button on the steering wheel and you're out. I mentioned that there's one complaint about this vehicle, and it's not too much of a complaint, but it's a real thing, and I want to explain kind of how I would live with this car if I owned it. Put it in park, hitting the unlock button, we're back at the parking lot. And like, who is this car for exactly? Well, if you're someone who likes to rip around town, you don't need a car that can have a super far range. Like, you're okay with just using this around town. You want to have something that feels like a sports car, but it's electric, but still feels like a regular car. Have more of a hatchback feel, a really, really fast car. If you just like carrying 4 people super comfortably, having a huge hatch and just an amazing grocery getter with good technology, feels very 2023, but also just feels like a regular car with a blend of Lincoln and a Cadillac interior feel, and you like simple things, this car is for you. It's got everything, and it's just so simple. So if you're a minimalist who likes a clean looking car, you'll really enjoy driving this car. It handles great. You can take it to the back roads even. So it's just a slightly large hatchback that can fit 4 people super comfortably, 5, no problem. There's nothing to really not like about this car besides what I'm going to speak to at the end. It's just such a cool car. You don't have the space up front, but you have plenty of space in the back. You can put the seats down, store a lot of things in here. You learn the most by who this car is not for. If you need to go super far out of town and take this on a trip, if this is your only vehicle, I have to say, I don't think this is the car for you. If you're taking more than 4 people on a regular basis, I don't think this car is for you. If you need maximum storage space in an EV, I don't think this is it, because we don't really have space in the front as you saw. But if you like to go fast, have a minimal style car, it look cool, plug it in every night at your house, you don't plan on hitting superchargers around town because the network's not as good, this car is for you. I think anything within 20 minutes of my house, I have chosen this over all my sports cars at home. This car really does it all for the most part for a large hatchback. It just lacks the range. If you're in the market for just a cool car to just take around town and it's not something you need to worry about taking out of town, and you want to go fast, have an awesome cockpit. The cockpit is like one of my favorite parts about this vehicle. This is a great option for you. Small families, secondary vehicles, single people, male or female. This car is great for a lot of people. But if it's your only car, it's probably not going to be your best option because of the range and charging network. So keep that in mind, and that should help you decipher what car you should buy next. And I just recommend search up 2-3 models, go see them in person, go drive them, get a feel for them, and then make a decision based off how the car makes you feel and if it checks off all the boxes that you need out of a car, and you'll pick the right one and you'll enjoy driving it. The biggest thing people will say is the charging. The charging network is not as good compared to other electric vehicles. There was only one supercharger near my house, and it would charge in about 40 minutes from about 10-15% all the way to full, and it costed me $30 per charge. I've had it for a week and I've driven this car non-stop. I've charged it 3 times. Not always from 10-15, sometimes from 40%, one time from 70%. But when you use those fast chargers, it's not super cheap. But I must say, if I could charge this car every night at home, which if you go to a Kia dealership, apply and they'll get a professional sent out to your house, install a charger, this is awesome. I think if you have a car around town, you want it to be quick, you want it to be comfortable for people, and just have a car you can have fun in that's electric, this is the car for you. This is the most normal yet electrified modern technology all twisted into one car that I've personally had time with, which is really cool. I've been in all my friends' Teslas and stuff like that, and they just have a certain feel to them, and it feels very futuristic. But sometimes I like the enthusiast based car that's comfortable for everyone, has cool seats and all that, big brakes, could take it out to the back roads if I want. But as a car enthusiast myself, I love this car. From anywhere from about 20 minutes from my house, all those errands, I love taking this car. I don't have to wait for the motor to warm up. I just go, it's quick, it's silent. I can think about a lot of things I have going on in my head. I can get home, and if I want to go take my gas powered car somewhere, I can do that. But having this car available to take out is something that I can find myself getting in over my gas cars for those short errands. If I could charge it every night at home and it just charged all night, didn't use much electricity, didn't make my bill go up much, which it wouldn't, it's a really cool ride to have. And a lot of people will like these. Once you see them in person, you see the size, you go, oh, this car is very spacious for the size. I think it's a good car that anyone can enjoy and have a good time in. A car that's the most similar to this in size is this one right here. It's a CX-30. Review it. You go check it out. If you want to go gas, you need to do longer road trips, I recommend not getting this car. If you want to go really far, get something with a gas-powered engine right now. It's going to make your life easier. A CX-30 might be something for you because it's a similar size to this.